back to that defensive identity from early in the season. How appropriate was it that tonight kind of came down to a defensive stop against, one of the league's best players to snap this streak?
Sometimes it's just the way the ball bounces, but I thought overall we did a terrific job on him. He's extremely talented. He's a tough guard, so you got to send multiple bodies to for him to get off the ball. I know you look at the numbers and he scored 27, but over the last 5 he's averaging close to 40, and we kind of forced him into some tough twos. I think held him just about 41% from the field. So not going to keep him from catching it, but when he caught it, we had to junk it up at times and double him. But it's very fitting, and I thought it was a pretty decent carryover from the bulk of last night. Second half of last night, outside the last probably like 5 minutes, I thought we were playing well. But to get the payoff tonight, I think is a great reward for our guys.
How happy were you that on the offensive end it was really a collective? Kyle kind of got going early, but it seems like everybody had a big bucket at some point. Everybody was involved. Yeah,
no, I think that's how it has to be. We've seen that at times this year. And now, with the absence of Brad, that's a big chunk of our offense. But no one is just going to step in and fill that void. So I think collectively, everyone's just got to pick it up in certain areas. And, tonight was a great example of that.
What stuck out about Spencer's performance tonight?
Well, I think he struggled a little bit from the floor early, but he settled in. I love the fact that he just stayed aggressive. It didn't, deter him at all from, trying to play downhill, try to play the right way. Got in paint and kicked it out, made the right plays at the right time. And free throws late in the game are huge.
How can he be this effective when Brad is in the lineup?
Well, I think it's just a matter of, him staying aggressive. And I think at times he defers. And it's a tough balance because you want to see your best player get going. He's trying to, force feed him at times, but there's plenty of opportunities for him to stay in attack mode and play downhill. He's done it. So I think it's just one of those things, more of a mindset that he doesn't have to necessarily, worry about featuring, Brad per se. Brad's going to get plenty of touches, and we're going to keep the ball in his hands quite a bit. So there's equal opportunity for both those guys to flourish.
From pregame, we talked about just the advantage of a back-to-back, having that mental toughness. What mental toughness did you see out there tonight?
Well, I think we saw quite a bit of it. I think it's always tough. You have to swallow a tough loss, on the road and then turn right around 24 hours later and play again. But we talked about that being a mental component. You're not going to get on the court, for shoot around. You're not going to have time to really go through the details, do a walkthrough in a ballroom. But I thought it was a great carryover. They stuck to the game plan. They trusted it. They executed it. And we showed enough energy and on the second night of a tough back-to-back that we were able to come away with one.
And also, just wanted to bounce off Colin's point. You guys just made it so hard for him to beat in those first 2 quarters. You just talked about what did you do in those first 2 quarters that made it so hard for you?
Well, I don't want to give everything away, but we kept sending bodies at him. We were coming from different areas, but trying not to give him a steady diet of the same look. But the priority was get the ball out of his hands.
And lastly, Coach Kuzma just has been in a groove. What did you see out there tonight that he just had it going?
Well, he's that type of player. He's capable of doing a lot of things, but when he kind of sees when he sees a couple of them go in, now he's shooting into a big basket. He's playing with a lot more confidence. I think he understands that his impact on this team. Defensively as a rebounder, he can play make. And obviously he's making shots, so it's putting a complete package together.
Maybe it's a matchup that he was scoring with the ball constantly. What did you see?
I think it's great. The more the better. I think he's learned to kind of play the way we want to play. He's taking advantage of opportunities. He's guarding, really well. And to get another guy who can play downhill, I think is really it puts a lot of pressure on the paint. We had another good paint night tonight. We were dominant on the glass as well. So that combination, I think, is terrific for us.
Chase.
Hey, Wes. With the way Kuzma has been scoring lately and with Brad out, I would imagine he's a greater and greater focus of the scouting report. What does it say about his growth to continue to score the way he has, knowing that?
Well, I don't really know if that's 100% true. I would imagine, he's scoring at a high rate. He's been pretty efficient at it. But, I think for the most part, he's not forcing it. That's the part I think I can appreciate most. He'll take the opportunities when they present themselves. I'm more than comfortable with him staying aggressive, but just to continue to play the right way. And he's done a better job of cutting down on the turnovers. So that's a benefit to us in general. We've had a hard time with that, and tonight was a good example. I think 10 turnovers, 6 points. That's big for us.
You guys had a big advantage in bench scoring. What stood out to you about your second unit tonight?
I think the ball movement, they continue to play together, move it, share it, get the defense moving from side to side. I think is great. Take some pressure off one guy having to make a play, and everyone's involved. So everyone touches it. Everyone feels, part of it. I think that helps, some of the rhythm and some of the spacing. But it's great to see those guys can contribute. And there's really not a ton of drop off when you go to your bench.
Neil.
Hey, Coach, I know you often say, it's a better question for the players, but could you sense anything, whether it was, pregame walkthrough, pregame speech right before you guys come out where, they were really locked in, really focused, and you might get this kind of an effort tonight?
Well, I didn't think it was an issue of effort. I could feel that they're going to come out and play hard. At just the execution part, that component was there tonight. And, I think that's the most important thing, having that carryover from your film and your walkthrough. Can they retain it and apply it? And tonight we did. So I'm very proud of them, for that. But there was just that air of belief, and we've been, kind of beat down a little bit. Haven't had the best luck. We've lost some tough ones. We've had some bad games. So you almost feel like, what we're due. So it was great to get one, on the second night of a back-to-back on the road. I think that's meaningful. It's uplifting for the entire group.
What would you say is the biggest translator between, just effort, but then also getting that execution?
Well, I think the connectivity, I thought we played well together, and that's, something we have to just continue to hold on to. We're not always going to make the shots. We're not always going to, be as efficient on offense, but, if we're connected, that means we're flying around, we're covering for each other, we're locked in, we're trying to uplift each other. I think those type of intangibles, when they play out, they'll get you through some of those tough stretches.
Thanks, Coach. Safe travels.
Thank you.
That's it, Coach. Appreciate your time.
All right. Thanks. Have a good night.
You too.
What up? Appreciate it.
Can you take us through that last possession where you got the block on Joel, and how significant is it for you guys to be able to not only break the streak but break the streak with a defensive stop?
I think it was huge. I think for us, the biggest thing in that moment, I don't remember how much time is left, maybe 4.2 seconds or something, but we just wanted to keep bodies on bodies. Our plan was to switch 1 through 4. Well, really 1 through 5 prior to the ball coming in and after. And, obviously we knew the ball was going to go to the MVP. And, I saw him driving. I was there. I came to be the low man, about to take a charge. And, he made a hell of an adjustment, making a euro. And I knew if I would have stayed there, then it probably would have been, an and one or a foul. So I kind of just moved out the way and then, just luckily got a hand on it. And the second part of your question, it was huge. Obviously for us, defense was good for us at one point in time of the year, and then lately it hasn't. But anytime you can get a game-winning stop defensively, it's a good camaraderie boost. So
you guys never really let them get a rhythm all game. When they tried to make a rhythm, you guys were like kind of stop it. Just the way you guys kind of kept them, kind of contained them, and never really get them pulled out. They get kind of a offensive rhythm.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we are the ones on the court playing, but I thought Wes he did a great job tonight with his adjustments, with his rotations, and easing the storm in certain situations when they made runs, calling timeouts, and we just made the right plays down the stretch and throughout the whole game. So obviously it was a collective win, from players to staff, and You need that, especially on the road in a hostile environment like here in Philadelphia. So,
What sticks out about Spencer's performance?
man, he had a triple double. As he said in the locker room, he said really a quadruple double. He had points, rebounds, assists, and missed shots. So he had all four tonight. But we'll take it. It's all good.
To see him as aggressive as he was, how much does that open up not just his game, but the other?
I mean, we need him to be aggressive, especially right now. We're down bodies, and he's been in a funk kind of all year. So, I feel like the number one way to get out of a funk is just go out there and ball out. Just, obviously not jack shots, but be aggressive as much as you can. And yeah, I think he had a positive game for us.
Hey, Kuzma, you just talk about the mental toughness it takes to put up the performance you all did on back-to-back.
Oh, extremely, man. We got into town, landed probably about 2 a.m. I know me personally, I didn't go to sleep till about 4. So, just the NBA is a grueling season, nonstop travel. And people don't really realize how tough and demanding physically and mentally back-to-backs are. You got to think you're going up in the air 30,000 feet after a game, causing more swelling to your body and inflammation. And then, you got to come out and play with not that much sleep, probably not the best food choices. And you got to go out there and compete. But, credit to the guys and, everybody's just staying locked in mentally and, pulling out a W. So.
Lastly, after the game, a couple of the fans had rushed me and said, "Hey, Kyle Kuzma, little brother, why you have a good game? Why do you, can you ask him why did he cook us tonight?" So, in regards to that, what made the defense that you saw tonight have you a game that could cook for 24 points?
I watch a lot of film and, credit to, the people I've been around and me just trying to be a student in the game and understanding what a defense is trying to do. And, a lot of times they were in deep drops, meaning Embiid being back, allowing me to get downhill and, make a couple floaters. And, once I get a couple floaters going, I feel like my jump shot starts falling. I get more confident. So, it's not really necessarily a rhyme or reason. It's all about really flow and taking what the defense gives you and, just being calm and patient all night. And, I think, credit to that. So.
And last, you had a fadeaway that almost looked Kobe-esque. Can you talk about that particular play?
I mean, I work on that shot every single day. I don't shoot it too much, but when I'm in the gym and I'm working out, working on my game, I shoot those every single day, and I'm confident in it. And I know if I ever get post ups and I can't get to the rim, I know I got a fadeaway to fall back onto, and I'm confident. And I've took 1,000 of those shots, 1,000. So I'm confident in it.
How comfortable are you with your floater, and how do you and your runner,
Mm-hmm.
and how at what stage in your career do you feel comfortable? Because that's a much tougher shot.
Yeah, I mean, I've had the floater all my life, really. Going back to high school, I had a high school coach that for an entire summer, I didn't shoot threes, I didn't shoot pull-ups. All we worked on was post work, footwork, and just touch. And I credit a lot of that to being at a young age and focusing on those little basics to carry me through. And it's just like second nature now, and I work on it every day still, and it's a big part of my game. So.
Chase.
Hey, Kuz, with the way you've been scoring these last few months, and especially in a game when like Brad isn't out there, do you notice a lot more focus from the opposing defense, and what's it like trying to stay ahead of them and continue to counter what they throw at you?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously I didn't have this type of role at the beginning of the year, and it's been picked up over the last 2 months. So for me, I'm ready for this moment. Been ready for this moment, been asking for this moment for years. And, I'm just ready for it. I put a lot of work in. I love the game. I study the game. I care about the game, and it's just coming easy to me right now. So it's just I'm just reaping the fruits of my labor and all the hard work that I put in. So.
Neil.
Hey, Kuz, I know you joked last time when you had the dunk on Joel that, he said if you do that again, he's going to punch you. Is there anything that he quipped or joked about anything with you after the block?
Nah, he went off the court early this time. So, I mean, obviously it was a tough game. Probably a little disappointed of, taking a loss because, they've been one of the hottest teams in the league all year. So, didn't have no communication with them. So.
And coach was talking about, the effort is there a lot of the times, but it's not necessarily always translating to execution. What do you think was working in that regard tonight?
Basketball is a make or miss game. At the end of the day, the most important thing is your habits. The most important thing is also just doing the right thing and trying to do that consistently and hoping that the result is what you want. And, you can go all through a game and have the perfect execution and miss every shot. And you just have to, deal with it and live with it. That's just how the game is and how the game's played. So, I think tonight we did a much better job down the stretch executing than that Milwaukee game. I think the last 4 minutes of that Milwaukee game, we kind of fell apart, didn't know what we were doing, didn't really get into action, didn't play defense, had a lot of miscues. And tonight still has some miscues, but the ball went our way. And, that's just a game of basketball. So.
Thanks, Kuz. Safe travels.
That's it, Kuz. Appreciate your time.
For the psyche of the team to break the streak and also to get it done on a defensive stop.
Obviously, definitely good to get it done on the defensive side. I think more importantly, it was good to break it against a good team. And being in the stretch that we're in, obviously taking a little bit of confidence away from that because it's not really going to get any easier. Milwaukee on the road, Philly on the road. Now we, got Miami and Phoenix soon. Like, none of those teams are bottom of the barrel by any stretch.
First career triple double. What worked so well for you tonight?
Anytime you get a triple double, anytime you have a high assist, well, let me not say anytime because I've never done it before, but I've had high assist games before, right? So that's all credit to my teammates, right? Anytime you start getting 9, 10, 12, 14 type assists, that's all due to your teammates making shots. In terms of the rebounding effort tonight, I think, our bigs getting locked up with Embiid, battling a lot, and then just my matchup, right? So I was on Thibault a lot. And he's typically a cutter. So I'm either, doubling on Embiid or I'm kind of one of those guys catching the cutter and help side and different things. I don't have, well, it wasn't Curry tonight, obviously, but like a Danny Green or something who's a spot up shooter. So I'm not out on the wing. And so just was fortunate enough to get some of those rebounds kind of fall in my lap. And really the points just came because I shot a lot because I didn't shoot well. So.
Overall, the offense, some of the guys that key baskets, key points, a lot of spread it out for the offense tonight. What was the key in terms of not just starting five and everybody else kind of getting the ball offensively?
You just try to pick up the pace, have good ball movement, and then everybody picking their spots in the right time. We have a lot of hungry guys on our roster, and they all have a willingness to score. So it really just comes down to the timing and then hopefully making the shots.
I think that's first step for you.
Mhm. Yeah.
How helpful is that for you to develop a rhythm and a feel for the flow?
Yeah, I think that's been one of the most underrated aspects of my season so far. Like the role has changed a million times. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes I play the first 6 minutes, sometimes I play the first 4. Then I'm playing with the second unit or I'm not, or then it's sometimes on the ball, off the ball. Like now, it's a little bit longer stretches, a little bit higher volume. Just, I've had to move around a lot. And, that's also coming off of, not playing in 18 months, right? Because I didn't play in the bubble because of COVID, and I missed, all but, 5-6 games the last season. So, it's been a crazy adjustment period. I've always said whatever they ask me to do is what I'm gonna do. And in terms of high volume, stringing together 10 minutes, things like that, like that's, where I've been most comfortable my entire career. So
Said many times that you basketball perspective.
yeah.
All that said, how did you do that?
I mean, it's a part of life. My road to this point hasn't been easy. I fought as a kid, I fought as an adult. And like I said, I'm also a father, so you have a great perspective, and you just understand like life and have a balance to it. And I trust my work, and let the chips fall where they may. There's always going to be bad times. There's always going to be things said about you, whether they're fair or not. Like it's part of it.
You said a lot, Pat. It's hard to win in this league.
Yeah.
Especially on the back-to-back. You just talk about the mental toughness it takes to get a win, especially about it like this.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Philly has some really passionate fans, and obviously they have a good team as well, and arguably the MVP. So, you land at 2-3 a.m. You just gotta try to get your rest, and then when you start walk through and shifting gears, because it was a tough loss in Milwaukee, you want to stay locked into the scouting report. Just really take it day by day. Don't get too caught up into what can happen in the future or anything. Just live in that moment and approach this game. Do your body checks, make sure that you're ready to go physically and approach that game for what it is.
Also, you said, first of all, congratulations on your first division.
Thank you.
I want to just talk about the assist side. You found your teams and you found your players in the right spots.
Yeah.
You just talk about what the defense gave you that allowed you to have such a high assist.
For some of those baskets, it was a lot of great cutting off the ball by like Denny and Corey, guys like that. With Embiid in such a deep drop, you want to come off the pick and roll clean, draw his help a little bit, and then Trez was really knocking down floaters. This wasn't a team where we necessarily got a ton of spray out threes. Well, from me personally, but that's what I was mostly looking to do. Just attract the help. Anytime you get 2 on the ball, you did your job as a PG. So, continue to stay aggressive, get in the paint, make the right read.
Neil,
Hey, Spence, you talked about being a dad. You've mentioned that before. What did it mean to you to, be able to have your son there today and kind of share that moment after the game?
Oh, it's always dope. You know what I mean? I try to have him at as many games as possible. He recognized it now. He's 3.5 going on 4. There's a time period when, he was a couple months old, a year old, and he had no idea what was going on. Now he's fully aware. He runs on the court. He says, Daddy, you won. And, he's happy and he cries when we lose. So it's a fun experience.
Thanks, Spence. Safe travels back.
Thank you.
that's it, Spence. Thank you.
No doubt.